Hello there, phenomenal leader. Welcome to Take the Lead, a consciousness movement with Angilie Kapoor. Now, this is a show where each week we help you become one with the rhythm of life by stepping into your potential. Now, how can I do that? You might be asking. Well, by embodying your inner phenomenal leader and taking the lead of yourself and in your own life. Now, as you may know by now, if you've been watching us regularly, my name is Angilie Kapoor and I am your host. I'm also a best selling multi book author and inspirational speaker, as well as the founder of my conscious leadership coaching company, Oversight Global. Now, at Oversight Global, my team and I, we are on a mission to address the consciousness crisis in the world, one leader at a time. Now, today we have another amazing guest joining us today. I'm super excited at what we'll be exploring in our discussion on prosperity reimagined, shifting your money mindset. Today, Dr. Ohan, the Money Doctor, is here to help us explore transforming your money mindset and the realities of declining wages among young people, including some practical tips you can use to break free from financial stress and build a prosperous future with confidence. Now, I have a feeling this is going to be a great conversation, so be sure to stay right there. You don't want to miss this. Okay, now, as you know, because I've been talking about it for weeks now, I am super excited because the latest book that I am a part of, Jim Britt's Cracking the Rich Code, launched a couple of months ago now in mid June, and it became a number one international bestseller in less than a day. Now, I am so honored and privileged to be a featured co author with 20 other top entrepreneurs and success strategists with Jim Britt himself, one of the world's top influencers, coaches, and speakers. Now, the book is endorsed by none other than Tony Robbins, with the foreword written by the legendary Brian Tracy. Now, media outlets NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS News have all run stories on their website about the book as well as its launch. So be sure to go to our website at oversightglobal.com, scroll down a bit on the homepage to find the book link. You can also click on the QR code that's on the bottom right of your screen now to go directly to that page. So trust me, you will absolutely love this book. My chapter is chapter 6, by the way. Okay, so as you may well know by now, the premise of this show, Take the Lead, a consciousness movement, is to help you recognize and embody what I call your inner phenomenal leader. It's your true, authentic self that you are truly meant to be. To help you uncover the power that you have within to step into your potential and contribute to the world as only you uniquely can. Now, to do this in a fun way on this show, we look at the parallels of couple dancing, like salsa and ballroom dancing, with the leadership development concepts that we talk about to help you become the leader of yourself and in your own life. Now, like I mentioned, today we're going to be discussing and exploring transforming your money mindset to break free from financial stress and build a prosperous future with confidence. Now, just as salsa and ballroom dance require coordination, trust, and rhythm between partners, transforming one's money mindset to alleviate financial stress and build a prosperous future demands a similar balance in self leadership. In dance, the leader must guide with confidence and clarity, while the follower trusts and adapts to the movements, creating a harmonious flow. This dynamic mirrors financial self leadership as well as group or team leadership, where strategic planning and adaptability are key. Leading yourself and or others with intention in financial decisions, much like setting the tempo in a dance, helps establish a strong foundation for prosperity. Trusting the process and adapting to change with grace ensures that both partners in the dance and yourself and others in financial matters move forward confidently, turning financial challenges into opportunities for growth and success. And with that, what are your thoughts or questions on our monologue today? Let us know by emailing us at admin@oversightglobal.com. folks for our commercials for our newly redesigned company website, oversightglobal.com, as well as my new speaker website, angeliekapoor.com. Pretty cool, right? I'm super excited that they are both up and out there in the world. So be sure and check them out at the links that are on your screen now. Be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter that we put out filled with updates, tidbits, and insights, as well as Monday Money Mindset, as well as grab yourself some freebies from our freebies page while you're at it. And let me know what you think about them, will ya? Okay, so let's get to our featured guest spotlight. So, Ohan, the money doctor, is a doctor of economics and a certified financial planner professional with over 2 decades of financial industry experience. He is a money coach, educator, speaker, and the founder of ohanthemoneydoctor.com. Ohan offers one on one coaching sessions through his proven step by step process to improve financial health, invest, and build wealth without being overwhelmed and stressed. Ohan has been featured in CNN, Forbes, Investopedia, Yahoo Finance, Fox Business, US News, US Today, Money Geek, CBS News, Insider, Go Banking Rates, and other major publications. Now, today, Dr. Ohan is here to help us explore transforming your money mindset and the realities of the declining wages among young people, including some practical tips that you can use to break free from financial stress and build a prosperous future with confidence. Now, phenomenal leaders, without further ado, please help me welcome to the show the money doctor himself, Dr. Ohan. Dr. Ohan, thank you so much for being here today. I can't tell you how excited I am for our conversation.
The pleasure is all mine, Angilie. And first and foremost, congratulations on everything you are doing. I was at backstage listening about your accomplishment and new ideas that you are starting and always keeping your energy up and the positivity. So congratulations on your projects and thank you for having me in your show.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Now, before I forget, I do want to let our viewers know that we will be periodically displaying Dr. Ohan's contact information and social media platforms. So, if at any time you feel called to check out more information on what Dr. Ohan does and how he might be able to help you, be sure to go to those platforms, follow him, and connect with him. All right. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, I know that we have talked a lot because we've known each other for a while, but we talked before on how you got into being Ohan the money doctor. So can you kind of briefly just let our audience know how you got involved with finance and helping people to really, transform their money mindset and be able to deal with their finances in a healthy, positive way?
That's a great question and a great way to start because in many cases even the sound being a doctor is not usual on in my ear, and I want to clarify for our listeners that I'm not a medical doctor, but I have my PhD in economics, which was the main reason that I picked the brand as on the money doctor, just to stand out, be easy searchable in case someone
Mhm.
decides to be in touch with me or see what I'm writing and what I'm doing about. But I came to United States 15 years ago, which seems like yesterday, like or maximum 2 weeks, but it's been already 15 years from 2009. And when I first arrived to United States, the English was the biggest obstacle, and I start learning, and the best way to learn language just to be in the community that speak the language. And that the same goes about money as well. Sometimes I do parallels when I mention that money is another language that people should consider learning, because money language is different. There are so many words that they were unfamiliar to me when I just arrived to United States.
Mhm.
Something like simple as sounds simple now to me, but 401k or retirement account or taxes, anything money related investments with all different tabs, which to choose from, how to choose from. That it was a really like cultural shock for me when it came to American financial system. Although I had a background in finance already when I arrived to United States, but still like I started learn from literal like ABC, and I started working with one of the major banks in United States, started as a cashier, as a teller, then got my securities licenses. I got my promotion to become a private banker. And then I saw that it was not enough because I wanted some type of formal education as well, just at least to have the understanding about education system in United States. That is where I went to UCLA and I studied for my personal financial planner program, which allowed me to sit for the exam called Certified Financial Planner. And in order to differentiate, anyone can call them nowadays financial advisor or financial planner if they are dealing with money, but Certified Financial Planner is a certification, but the main, if I can explain in one word, is the true fiduciaries in financial industry. So what that means that we put our clients' interest above ours, or in case there are any conflicts, we'll openly explain them. I like this idea of becoming a certified financial planner, and that was the time I evaluated my diplomas, and I got equivalency bachelor's and master's in engineering, which I had from back home. And also because of the studies that I did, I got equivalency in Doctor of Economics. That's how I choose the name. But the main goal, and again, name is important because you want to have the visibility as a brand or creator, however you want to call it. But in the meantime, the goal was to simplify money in the way that I talk. In my opinion, is the simple English. I try not to use any complicated words, and that is the main idea behind On the Money Doctor, that to make it available to Main Street investors or potential investors or future investors, that it is possible for them to accomplish certain financial goals that they have in their mind. So and they don't need to be scared about it or have any fear.
Yeah, yeah. No, thank you so much for that. I love that. So let's go ahead and start talking about. So during your work with working with people in regards to their finances, what are some of the most common barriers that people face when it comes to transforming their money mindset had that you have found in working with different people?
Because I know that our program has limited duration, so we cannot go on just explain everything in this program. But I was thinking about ideas that I want to bring it up, and again, wanted to simplify how that works. When I
Mhm.
just started my one-on-one coaching, I attracted, or at least the people who came to me, to my world, to so we can work together. They were mainly people who have um, some type of a debt. So
Mhm.
they even have either have student loans because they are educated people, and in many cases, education in United States means having a student loan, unfortunately. Or there were some people who have credit card debt, which is
Mhm.
I have it. It is not next to me really to show you, but I will keep my recent statement that I got from American Express, which is a credit card that Macy's card that issued by American Express, and it's over 35% now, something called APR, annual percentage rate. And they have this credit card and student loan, car loan, all these different consumer type of loans very possible for different electronics and everything they bought. Even sometimes people borrow money to go for vacation. I came to the conclusion that first, these people are not ready to be an investor because in many cases there are no investments available which will outperform the interest that you have right now paying on your debt. And I came to the conclusion that in many cases these are the people who are underserved by big banks and in many cases by credit unions and brokerage firms. I start helping them with first and foremost understanding the mindset, that it is possible to switch from our consumer mentality, which is we are very hardwired as humans, and additionally as Americans, even more hardwired because America's economy is mainly on consumer type of spending, and we are bombarded daily. You drive on freeway, or you are watching movies, or checking something on social media. You are always bombarded with different offers. I came to the this idea that yes, there are many different types of um, people, and when it comes to money, but just to separate to two different armies, they are either spender or saver, and in
Mhm.
many cases combination of both. And spenders in many cases have debt, and savers in many cases they save more than they need, instead of like enjoying the life while they are saving, maybe traveling or buying that um, dream, I don't know, whatever it can be, house or
Mhm.
program or coaching session, whatever it can be. So I came to the conclusion that in general there are two different types of like either consumer or investor, and in the meantime, people with their behaviors are either saver or spender. And
Mhm.
I start to explain different ways of how we can switch and change the army to come to the other side, which is, in my opinion, more beneficial for your financial health.
Right, right, right. So in terms of mindset, I'm really big into mindset. I wrote 2 books on mindset. So, and
Yes,
we've
yes.
talked about it as well. So, in when we talk about like a lack or scarcity mindset and then success or abundance mindset, where do you feel that fits in with money mindset?
Again, great questions. You are asking these great questions that we can expand on them hours and hours, if not days. But just to talk short, first and foremost, I get a chance to read your book on mindset, one of the first readers. And that is, by the way, great collection of all these actionable tools that someone needs to change their mindset. And money mindset is not very much different from mindset when it comes to our health, or when it comes to eating, or it comes to our beliefs. And mainly our mindset got developed, and we are right now all owning whatever mindset we have, thanks to environment around us, the way that
Mhm.
you grow up, the family you grow up, who are the people to talk about money. The recently I started asking a question to many of my clients and followers and people that I'm very comfortable asking these type of questions. When was the first memory about money in your life? And for many people, they need to just stop and think about it, because this is not question that you are getting asked daily, and you
Mhm.
have the answer on at your mind on top of it right away. So what you do, just go by the way that the culture you grow up. For example, in my case, I came from post-Soviet countries. In these post-Soviet countries, in many ways, people don't believe in financial institutions. I'm not saying that in United States everyone believes in financial institutions, but majority of these post-Soviet countries, they don't believe in financial institutions. So it will
Mhm.
be hard for them to invest when they are in United States, because again, that belief that, oh, something can happen, maybe you, God forbid, stock market will disappear, or American dollar will disappear, which are, by the way, legit risks that exist, and it can happen. Anything can happen. Never say
Mhm.
never, but it is very individual to a person when you start working with them about money mindset, just to see like what they remember, what they know, what is
Mhm.
their history with money. And that is the time when all I do just to listen, because people want to share about their money beliefs. When you have the trust with them, and you can find out that in many situations, until their adulthood, they never got talk about money, about how money works, how money can be invested. And in many cases, fortunately and unfortunately, that we are just mirroring what our parents and adults in our life did. And when you have a parent who is all about spending, and very possible that you will be another spender yourself, versus if you have your parent or parents who are investors, then they will talk about the way that money can work for you. Because at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, the goal is to have that financial freedom. And
Mhm.
how you can get there, the road is different depending on the individual. And if you have certain savings account amount, then that will be easier versus for someone who is just establishing that saving mindset or mentality. But let's say saving $5 or $25, which is still good than saving nothing. But in many cases, with our prices you just mentioned and our wages and everything, it is not enough to make the needle move, as the saying goes.
Right, right. Yeah, I think it's great that one of the things you do is ask people what their earliest memory about money is. I know that when I was working on kind of shifting my own money mindset, that was part of my journey. It was I really, tried to think about because as you mentioned, our mindsets are really cultivated in our childhood and things we learn from our parents and the adults that we have around us and the environment that we're in. And so, I really went on this exploration of thinking about, what were my first experiences with money? What were my first thoughts and really how that really formed how I
Your
deal with
confidence.
money as an adult and the kind of really the relationship that you have with money that has been, cultivated throughout your life. And so I think it's great that one of the first things you ask people is, what are your earliest memories? Because I think it's important that, we really look at what our beliefs about money are, what our relationship with money is, so that we can use that to learn from and then move forward in the direction that we want to go in terms of our financial goals.
And let me clarify something for our listeners and our viewers that first and foremost, I'm not a psychologist and I'm not going back to the history what you have and we are going to work together to clear something up. No, no, not whatsoever. The only reason I ask about like what is the first memory about money so we can move forward just for me to understand what is the level of money language that you know that you are aware of, what are the beliefs that got um, seeded or planted in you. And also, in the meantime, let me just mention when I mention I'm not a psychologist, also, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not giving any financial advice on in this format or anything, no legal advice, no tax advice whatsoever. Everything that we talk today is like hypothetical ideas, and everybody's situation is different. That is the reason personal finance is personal. And
Mhm.
although many believe that majority of humans they have similar like uh, traits or similar beliefs, similar behaviors when it comes to money, still like I can assure you from my experience that every single customer, every single client, and I don't like using the word customer client because I become friend with my clients and my customers. That was something I was missing in my corporate life because over there you need to have that formality, client, and they cannot be your friend and everything. But we become friends, and all I am trying to figure out what is the level of language knowledge when it comes to money that you have. So we go from there. If you don't have anything saved as of this moment, maybe we should start with saving for your emergency fund, which is something that not many people have nowadays. That's the reason people run to their credit cards. And there
Mhm.
are studies year after year after year that many Americans they cannot make any 400, 500, or $1,000 worth emergency in case it comes up, and they will run to their credit card. But on top of it, when you see people who are just spending their credit card on stuff, just buying stuff and hoarding stuff, or they plan their vacation but they haven't planned for saving for that vacation, so they will take some type of credit card. That is when the situation kind of gets out of control. Which I'm always positive and hopeful that there is always chance to do something about your money as long as you have that um, willpower to take the ownership.
Right, right. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. So, one of the things that I do want to talk about are kind of the trends that you kind of see with the financial challenges that are that our young people nowadays are facing, especially particularly with declining wages. So, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, although right now everything is towards technology, and why I start with technology because it helps us in so many different ways. Right now we are in two different states, and we are having this connection through internet, and I love all this that technology does. But what I see the trend among like teenagers or young adults, um, the reason being I mentioned young adults because you should be at least like 18 years old in many cases to have an account. If not, some states even have limits to 21 years old. When you are bombarded daily on your social media with all these different get rich quick type of schemes, and when the economy is not in the situation that we are thriving as a nation, so our um, as we all experience, we go to shop for groceries, or many of us drive cars, we can see that inflation is real, and inflation is real for this last year or so. And young people, instead of saving and trying to be responsible with their investment, they just go for these get rich quick type of like schemes that they listen here, there, everywhere. I will just suggest them to go with the, and by the way, they don't need to accept this, but in my opinion, they should go with the age old wisdom that you don't invest in something that you don't understand, because that's the key. Like if I'm not aware of, and I don't have anything against any type of investment, it can be cryptocurrency or ETF, stock market or real estate, anything you want to invest in, but you need to understand what you are getting into it. And
Mhm.
in many cases, our young um, adults and peers, they don't know that education from school, and all they are doing in many cases, unfortunately, working for minimal wage or a little bit maybe more than minimal wage, but everything they earn, unfortunately, they are spending. I will suggest just to change their mindset in a sense of like there is something called pay yourself first, and regardless it is $5, $10 or $20, just put something for that emergency, for the, and you start with small goals. You can just save $500. Let's say if you don't have any savings, let's put the goal to save $500 within a month or so, and then maybe to save 1 month of your living expenses. It's your rent, your car payment, insurance, or whatever expenses you have, and then we go little by little towards 3 months of spending, 6 months of spending, and 9 months of spending, and all of a sudden you realize you have fully funded emergency fund. So when next time that car break or you have some type of work issue, don't get me wrong, it is not enough whatsoever to go and say bye to your coworkers and to your boss tomorrow just by saving certain amount of money, but at least you will establish that habit of saving. Because if you are not saving the, let's say, 5% or 10% of $1,000 that you are earning, in my opinion, it will be hard for you to save 10% of $10,000 that you will potentially earn in the near future, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about that came up while you were explaining that is how kind of societal expectations play a role in forming people's financial intelligence. So I know that, we had once talked about kind of basic understanding of when it comes to a car. You don't necessarily need to have a car that has all the bells and whistles, because if you think about it, all of the car's job, what it's really meant to do is get you from point A to point B. Do you really need to have these leather seats, this high
Mhm.
end stereo, all these bells and whistles that you spend so much extra on a car when it's really just taking you from point A to point B? I know that when my husband and I, when we started traveling about 3 years ago, and our regular viewers know that we travel all over the world, one of the hardest things for me was really downsizing and really
Mm,
only taking the things traveling that I absolutely need not the things that I want to have because there's a difference. So can you kind of talk about that? How, especially here in America, things are success is really defined by the material things that we have and how that really, plays into the type of financial mindset we have.
You touch so many important topics that we can start discussing from different points of view. First, I would like to mention something very well known as keeping up with Jonases. When you see what your neighbor is doing, your coworker is doing, and it is not necessarily the right thing they are doing. Or maybe a right thing they are doing. So in many cases, I hope your neighbors, your coworkers are someone that you can learn from and um, grow with them,
Mhm.
versus in many cases we just see like, okay, they just got this new car, we should upgrade our car as well. There is something called lifestyle inflation, when you are upgrading your lifestyle with the income increase that you have. And there are many studies done, but this studies came out that many of the millionaires, which is, to be quite honest with you, nowadays with all the prices and everything, million is not the same buying power as the million that we were talking 10 or 20 years ago. But in the meantime, many of the millionaires nowadays they drive simple Japanese cars. I don't have anything against to any American or German, European cars or anything. I know that unfortunately study is not mentioned about Tesla, which is American car, but many of these people who were able to save, and these are in financial circles called someone Henry, which are high earners but not rich yet. And
Mhm.
these people in many cases like either inflate their lifestyle, so they move to the bigger house, they upgrade their Japanese car to um, Japanese car to German car, or so on. And there are certain people who are, instead of doing that, the excess money that they are earning because of the promotion or the qualification they got, they start investing and saving, and they do it in many cases very aggressively. Because when you put the numbers, our brain is not capable of understanding until we see it. And I can assure you that, because that happened even with me, like, not bragging about myself or anything, but I had my education in finance, and still for me just to see numbers on the paper helped me to understand, like, oh, there is something called compound interest, and this compounding works very, like, magically fast when you have the patience. The problem is it can backfire to you in case you are someone who owes money, not someone who owns the money. Meaning, like, if you have debt, then compounding works against you when it comes to credit card or any type of, like, in many cases, student loan and so on. Versus if you are the investor, your money start working for you, and that compounding becomes even bigger while the time goes. Of course, you need to be responsible for that and everything. So I absolutely agree with you that the car is from transporting you from point A to point B. And me living in California, and here, like, it is almost impossible. We don't have very much developed public transportation. You should have a car in many cases if you are someone, especially who have family, unless you live in some smaller cities that we do have, and you can have a bike or some other means of transportation. But in many cases, car is big part of American budget, car payment. And there is there are very few things that are better than not having a car payment. It feels really good when you don't have car payment, but you need to be okay. And in the same can come to the phones. New iPhone comes every other year or so, and I don't even follow, not exactly know about it, because you can go and upgrade your phone, but your old phone was working fine. And there was a research done, by the way, that instead of upgrading your phone, if you invested that money in same Apple stock, or instead of buying Tesla car, you invested in Tesla, now you will be more than a millionaire. And by the way, I'm not someone who is very big fan of investing in individual stocks, picking and choosing, because it's really hard to tell or find out what will happen to Apple next week or a year or decades from now. In the same way it goes to Tesla, Amazon, and all these big companies. But you can have some type of diversification when it comes to your investing. And again, it will take time. And as again I mentioned, as a foreign language, you need to practice it to become affluent on that. And you don't need to just go study for years or decades to become financial professional, but you at least start understanding the basics, the alphabet, of course, just so you can mm, start understanding, listening, and all these different small but very important steps that you can take to take control of your financial life.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I agree with you. I think, it all just comes back to having awareness. And when you are making a purchase, kind of being aware of, is this something that I need? Is this something that I really want to purchase? I know I talked to, somebody years ago that he would buy Starbucks every day, $5. I think now it's $8 because of inflation. But yeah, I mean, every day he was spending like $5 on a cup of coffee when he could have just bought his own coffee, brought it to the office and made his own. But when we really sat down and thought about it, he was like, man, the money that I spend every day on a cup of Starbucks, I could be saving up for a house. you know
Yes.
and then so I mean it's I really
Amen.
think it's just creating that awareness of how you're spending your money, and if that's really how you need to be spending your money in terms of the goals that you have, buying a house, buying a car that you really want, or taking a vacation every year. So yeah, just having that awareness. So Ohan, it's been such a pleasure. Can you just give us some final thoughts that you want to leave our viewers with?
And that my final thought will be comment also what you just said. I agree with you that in many cases we do have expenses that we can definitely cut on, but in the meantime, just keep in your mind that just enjoy your life while you can also. It needs to be some type of balance. So if that one coffee gives the joy that you need every day to make more money, just go ahead and do it. If you need that luxury car that you will take your real estate clients to show properties, and you think that they are expecting for you to have that car, just go and do it. But everything that right now I mentioned, make sure it has some type of a purpose in your life, because in the end of the day we are all working hard. It is not easy unless you got some type of inheritance or lottery winning, but just they have that consciousness, have the patience, don't be these short ex- attention or expansion type of a person that will just see a new jacket and right away buy it. Just think about it at least for 8 hours or a week just to see if you even need it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I agree with you. Well, Ohan, thank you so much for being here and sharing your knowledge and insights with us. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure is mine. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
One of my hugest wake up calls was I did not feel good doing what I was doing or being who I was being. And I always got told that there was something wrong with me. But you know what? There was something wrong with that situation because I don't believe, actually I know that God did not create and put each of every one of us on this earth to be the same and to not be happy. And when you're embodying your inner phenomenal leader, you are better equipped to deal with all those struggles coming your way. And that's what's important. And that's what I strive to do as a conscious leadership coach, is to help others recognize that you are meant for so much more. You are meant to be the leader of your life and of yourself. And you are, meant for greatness, to be extraordinary, and to have a life that you love. And that's why I love doing what I do. And that's why I know that everybody who is here, it's not a coincidence that you're here. I don't believe in coincidences. You're not here by accident. You did not randomly choose to come to this particular summit. You did not randomly choose to be present during this particular presentation. You were here for a reason. All right. Now, if you've been watching our show regularly, you know that I am so excited that we've launched our premier transformational coaching experience called Meant to Lead. Now, unlike traditional leadership development programs, Meant to Lead emphasizes internal growth and self leadership as the cornerstone of effective leadership growth and development. Now, I've spent the last 2 years meticulously crafting Meant to Lead, drawing from the insights I've gained from my own journeys in the healthcare industry and as an entrepreneur, as well as from guiding other workplace managers, leaders, coaches, and various entrepreneurs. Now, central to our program is tested and proven 5 step coming into your inner leader process. Now, the steps of this process are the awareness phase, consciousness journey, mindset transformation, conceptual shifts, and skill set enhancement. Now, as well as the 4 components we've identified as being crucial for personal transformation, and that is a proven strategy and process, acquiring the proper tools, having the right guidance, and being in an environment conducive for growth and success. Now, participants of our Meant to Lead transformational experience will embark on a transformative journey, discovering their inner phenomenal leader and learning to lead themselves to success and fulfillment. My philosophy is grounded in the belief that effective leadership stems from mastering self leadership and tapping into one's extraordinary power. So don't miss this opportunity to unlock your fullest potential. Go to our website now for more information on our Meant to Lead individual, group, and corporate offerings. Now, we have some exciting news. We are introducing an opportunity for you to expand your mind by exploring the world. In March of 2025, we'll be embarking on a 10-day India Holy Festival tour that promises unforgettable experiences and vibrant celebrations. So, join us on a colorful journey through some of India's most iconic destinations. For more information, send your inquiry via email to kamal@oversightglobal.com. And I look forward to having you join us on this incredible journey. All right, and there you have it, beautiful souls, as this episode of Take the Lead, a consciousness movement with Angilie Kapoor comes to a close. I want to thank my guest, money coach, educator, speaker, and founder, Dr. Ohan, the Money Doctor, once again for joining us on the show today and for exploring with us transforming your money mindset to break free from financial stress and build a prosperous future with confidence. And also, thank you, Bright Light, for being here with us today, too. Remember, like I always say, I don't believe in coincidences, and you, Bright Light, were meant to be here today to receive whatever message you were meant to receive from this episode. So keep showing up, keep loving on yourself, and keep making progress on your journey to becoming the phenomenal leader I know that you truly are. Now, we won't be airing a show next week, as next Monday is a holiday here in the US, Labor Day. So be sure to rejoin me in 2 weeks on September 9th, as we'll have another amazing guest joining us. Amazon best-selling author Martha Gloria Cartui will be here to discuss her book, Glory Going All In, which is based on her real life experience of being born into and living her first 25 years of life in a religious cult. Now, I know this is a conversation that I can't wait to explore, and I'm sure it'll be another episode you won't want to miss. So be sure to set your reminders to be back here with me in 2 weeks on Monday, September 9th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right, my beautiful, phenomenal leader, have a great week, a safe and happy Labor Day holiday weekend, and I'll see you on Monday, September 9th. Take care. Don't forget to grab a copy of my book if you haven't already, and I will see you in 2 weeks. God bless. On our next episode of Take the Lead, a consciousness movement with Angilie Kapoor, guest Martha Glory Kartawi joins us to discuss From Darkness to Dawn, Finding Light After a Cult. Don't miss our next episode on E360 TV.